Would you ever consider TRT for yourself, or is that completely off the table no matter how your natural testosterone levels are in the future?
Oh, controversial topic, but definitely one that needs to be spoken about. I would be lying if I said I didn't consider it, but not to any serious extent. It'd be the same as saying, have you considered taking performance-enhancing drugs to, improve your strength and muscularity? Of course, you consider it, but then at this stage in my life, it's not something that I seriously consider, because in the future, hoping to start a family. So we know one of the things, if you start supplementing exogenous testosterone, there's a potential for infertility issues. So at this stage, that one thing has made me not that keen on it at this stage. I still feel it's in its infancy as far as like being tested in terms of the long-term outcomes associated with it, because it's just something that's been prescribed a lot more readily in the last few decades, at least to a more mainstream level. So my short answer is no, I haven't considered it seriously. In the future, I may, after those boxes have been ticked, but I'd have to see a lot more clear evidence. I'd have to have a really good protocol with it. And honestly, you'd have to be very transparent with your audience, because I'd like to think you and myself will be doing what we do, teaching fitness-related stuff for a long time to come. And you can't be out there telling your fellow 40, 50-year-old guys, just do my routine and, you'll get similar results to me with the principles I follow. But leaving out the fact that you're on a little bit of help with the TRT. I feel that's very dishonest, disingenuous. So if I was to, I would make that public. But for now, not something that I'd consider. I would much rather focus on what is in my control to influence at this stage. So we know with testosterone, the biggest lever that you can pull is sleep. The people that are considering doing testosterone around our age of 30, but they're out partying all the time, they're staying up late just watching Netflix when they could go to bed an hour earlier, that's just asinine in my opinion. So getting the sleep under control, getting your vitamin D, making sure your nutrition's on check, making sure that you're on a healthy body composition, perhaps looking into some few supplements that may help you. People can research this stuff. There's a few over-the-counter things that you can take to uplift certain areas to help with testosterone. But what I'm saying is people give up way too soon. They look to that as a quick, easy fix that they can do instead of making really tangible changes to their lifestyle to improve it.
Makes sense. And even for me, myself, of course, I thought about it too. But as you said, I would try to make sure like everything else is optimized in terms of my sleep, my nutrition, and I would try to prolong that as far and as long as possible. It would have to be really, really bad for me to probably get on something like that. I would not want to get on it for like vanity reasons. Also, like I reached my peak. I need to hop on some TRT.
You hear more the people that are taking it. It's more that their quality of life is severely hampered. You hear about the associated downfall of having low testosterone. You get very apathetic, poor mood, low energy, a real bad like lust for life and like drive to do things. If you are having those symptoms, then you really have to take a look at your lifestyle as a consideration, especially if you're in your 30s as an example. What have you seen from your research, Austin, about when are people leaning into the idea of taking testosterone?
It seems to be in their mid-40s, early to mid-40s, I would say, is what I've noticed personally based on the people I know who are taking it and my small amount of research on it so far. Yeah. So I'm not even considering the thought until then. And it would have to be like glaring signs to me that I need to do this. But based on my genetics and what I've seen in my dad and kind of how I am now, I doubt I'll have to.
Yeah. It's tough because these discussions are being really glorified for the minority. I know that there's trends of men on average having lower testosterone than, say, our predecessors 50 years ago, but I'd say that that's by virtue of a combination of environment and lifestyle factors, and I think that people give up way, way, way too soon. I've got you a gift. I want you to click below to download my free full-body calisthenics workout. I'll teach you how to get big and strong with old school bodyweight training.